So today I'm looking at reports. If you're in the dashboard of your cluster manager, you can see that we give you a preview of things that are going on. File uploads in the last 60 minutes, file uploads in the last week, bandwidth usage in the last 60 minutes, download and upload. And if you want to get more information about that, you can just jump over to reports. Now this is a cluster manager feature. Here we have the default report is the upload report. And if you pull this menu down, you get storage statistics, active users, guest users, node performance, bandwidth usage, server agents, system diagnostic report, and audit trace. So this gives you real-time feedback on things that are going on with your cluster. You'll begin to see things that are occurring, files that are being uploaded for this date, which is 8/31. So we can change the report. We can go to storage statistics. This breaks down the types of files that are being stored on your system, how much space is being taken and by what kind of file. Also shows you who is most active with regard to the storage being used. So this could be useful. Here's your refresh button if you want to update that. This is not a real-time report. Information is provided from the background scan process. So this is updated regularly, but that doesn't mean that it's accurate right now. So looking at active users, you can see there are 3 active users in this cluster, and it shows you when their last access was, the session was created, what worker node they're operating from. Now we go to guest users, and that we have 1 guest user that's currently in the system. This is a great location. You can go in reports, and sometimes that gives you an easier way to access important features. For instance, if you need to eliminate a certain share, a guest user you no longer want to have access, then it might be a good idea to go into reports from the cluster manager, from that dashboard, go into the reports section, choose guest users, and then you can just find a guest user that you want to eliminate, and you can go ahead and change that here. You can also edit. This makes it really easy for the cluster manager to go in and reset their password, send a new email with an updated password, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and demo that you can delete a share from this location just by clicking that delete button, and it's gone. So that user no longer has access to that share. So we go to node performance. Here you can see that we have the database records that are configured, total file change records, index records, and audit trace records. You can purge that from this location. Shows you where it's collecting the info. Bandwidth usage. This shows the bandwidth that's being used, and keeps track of activity. So this is a great place to come to see, to just monitor, the activity that's going on in the cluster. Okay, so we go to server agents. This shows any attached file servers using a server agent client. You can go to the task manager for that, and you can see the tasks that are pending or failed in case something has occurred to cause an issue. You can come here to check it. System diagnostic report. Click the link above to go through a series of system self-diagnostic steps and generate a system diagnostic report. That is also available from the cluster manager dashboard. So we can click that to scan, and it will point out any things that are not configured properly, where you might have issues or cautions, and show you how everything is set up. Now we have Audit Trace, incredibly useful for discovering issues in the system that need to be resolved. You could come here, and you could trace by various categories: email, username, trace contents, and action. So if it's set to email, I can enter an email and hit search, and it'll show the audit trace activity for that particular user. I can go by action, and it could show various subcategories of actions. So edit team folder, no activity, add a guest user, shows all the guest users that were added, who added them, stop sharing, purge expired shares, add group, edit group. So you can see this is a great way to generate reports on all the actions that are taking place in the cluster. If I go with the top one, let's see, let's go. If I want to know who has started sharing, I can click this. I could set this for the number of days I want to cover, and it will show me a report of all of the shares that have taken place. And then if I need to, put this somewhere else or give it to somebody in an email, that I could download a CSV file for that. And this is gives you access to basically all that information in CSV form, for analysis or distribution. So that is our reports section. I hope that you find it useful, and we're always tweaking and updating this, so check back often to see what new features have been added. That's all for now. Thank you.